My name is Paul Brown. I am the current principal of Martin Luther King Junior Middle School in Atlanta Public Schools. This is my 8th year as the principal of King Middle School, and it's actually my 18th year as a principal. Love my school, love my students and staff. Our school consists of about 850 students, and so I always have to have a plan because and when we were talking about the plan, we talked about, how is this going to impact kids? How is this going to impact parents? We took in consideration that some parents may have a kid in middle school, but they may have a kid in elementary school and high school they're trying to manage as well. So we really try to think about how do we make it easy or less cumbersome for parents and students. A lot of that discussion happened. I think Classworks came out. We did a Classwork workshop with teachers. I had my instructional coaches to call Classworks and say, hey, what do we do? How can you help us? Here's how we're going to do it. And they built a professional development for us that was recorded, where my coach was interacting with the facilitator, and we actually pulled a teacher in, asked questions. And so we used that platform to help other teachers, as well as we had our instructional coaches to meet with our teachers and to develop the mini lessons. And so we decided that lessons should last no more than 30 minutes, but within the 30 minutes, students should be able to complete their assignment. And we even talked about what days you would go live and what days you would not go live. During the scheduled time, 3 weeks, we built professional development time into our schedule. So there were certain times that we had distance learning professional development for teachers where we were actually extending the lessons. A big component was having our instructional coach work with the platform like Classworks to help develop those lessons. And Classworks has been like a big help because they actually tailor the program to meet the needs of individual teachers at our school, but also the content. And so that has been great, working along, having that resource where we can call and we'll get our answer, or we get a follow-up, or we get I think one time we got a recorded session to support teachers. And so that has been helpful. But building that professional development time in the distance learning planning has been helpful too. The Classworks professional development really helped with how do we select. I didn't have a hard time saying, okay, you all, we need to finish the year out. We still have these standards to cover. How do we go into Classworks and make that work for our students? Teachers were already familiar with, okay, here's how we select the standard. Here's how we select the activities we want our kids to do. Here's how we manipulate the system to make sure that for those students who are struggling, they have this activity. For those students who are only and above, that we stretch those students. Teachers were familiar with how to do that, and it was less stressful for them. And so that was one reason why when we built our distance learning plan, Classwork was the main source for us for content, was because I knew as the principal that they had professional development on how to roll it out. Classworks is a regular part of our school day, so kids already knew how to access that. And so Classworks, Google Classroom, teachers use Google Classroom. We did a big phone call out to parents, and we said, hey, for distance learning, that first week, we actually said to parents, hey, your child needs to get on Classworks. And so that phone call went out every day saying it was on our website, please access Classworks, because we knew that every kid in our school knew how to get onto Classworks and access Classworks through my backpack. But Classworks is the main resource that every kid in our school used for ELA and mathematics. So we have some kids who are being monitored and have to have progress monitoring. So Classworks is that piece. So for that student that's in SST, that student that's special needs, that need that classroom, that progress monitoring, Classworks helps us out with that. So those kids are still accessing Classworks for that. Teachers are still using Classworks for progress monitoring data, talking to parents, using for SST meeting. And then we use Classworks as the content, the on grade level content for students. So in a typical lesson, a teacher will go over the standard in a live session, and then the teacher has actually picked the content that students will actually have to complete through classwork and then make the assignment there. As the principal, making sure that every morning I send a motivational quote to my teachers with some words of wisdom. They get that from me, and that's something I've been doing for 18 years as a principal. But now it's like, if I miss that quote in the morning, a couple of teachers will call me and say, "Mr. Brown, where's my motivation?" And so I make sure I do that. We have had so many parents that I didn't know or have seen at the school, but they participate in this Google Meet, and they're there every week participating. So it's another way of outreach, and some parents like, I'm at work, but I can take 15 minutes to get on this call, and be a part of the conversation.